If you're traveling through Pikeville, you'll want to know about the new way you could get a parking ticket. We'll have more about the new system coming up. Plus, the war in Israel continues, but today officials are saying the aid sent to folks in need is being hijacked before it gets there.
Plus, a busy forecast continues into the weekend. Those details coming up as Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
One person is dead after a train and truck collide in Lincoln County. Officials say a pickup truck was crossing the tracks when it was hit by a northbound train. The crossing has flashing lights and sounds, but there is no crossbar. It's one of several crossings just like it up and down Kentucky 2141. People who live nearby did not see the crash, but they say this has been a common occurrence since they've lived here.
You've seen people try to beat the tracks right here to the same spot. Seen people stall actually even and had to push cars over, hearing trains coming. Seen a nice Camaro get hit not even a year ago just down the road here.
A Lincoln County deputy sheriff says the person killed is a man, but officials have not released his name. The train that hit the truck was on Norfolk Southern tracks, and it was carrying a double-decker load of boxcars. The city of Pikeville is looking at new ways to enforce parking laws in the downtown area. The city is working with a company called Automotus on a pilot program that will employ an automated camera system to detect parking violations. Officials say 25 cameras will be installed downtown, which will read license plates and send out tickets to those who violate parking space time limits, with a mission to free up spaces for shoppers and visitors.
We've had a problem since about 2020 or so when the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that you couldn't chalk tires for parking enforcement. And so since then it's been a challenge to keep open spaces on the street.
Deputy City Manager of Operations Brad Sloan says the changes should encourage those who work and live downtown to park in the free spaces off of the street that are not time limited. Hear more about the plans coming up at 6.
Well, the weather is not too bad on this Wednesday afternoon. Some of us looking at a few peaks of sunshine. Let's take a live look across the mountains on this Wednesday. A few peaks of sun at the London Corbin Airport, also over at I-64 in Rowan County. But notice in those higher elevations of Perry County over at Buffalo Mountain, some more gloomy weather and some more foggy weather as you go higher up in elevation. Those temperatures not too bad for late December in the upper 40s and a few lower 50s as well, and even some middle 50s for Bell County, also in Campbell County, Tennessee, and Harlan County at this hour, up to 55 degrees. And up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, much drier compared to yesterday. We are tracking a little bit of some drier air, but that is short-lived as we look back to the west, tracking this strong upper level low, producing some snow showers and some wintry mix close to St. Louis. And that weather system is pushing into our direction as we close out the work week. So a few areas of wintry mix or snow showers are possible on Friday also to start the weekend. And then maybe another weather system by New Year's Day on Monday. So we are staying busy here in the weather office. Your full First Alert forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Plumes of smoke rose over the border area between Israel and Lebanon today as tension between the two countries remains high. On the Lebanon border yesterday, Israel said Hezbollah fired anti-tank missiles at a church, wounding 9 Israeli soldiers and a civilian, after which it fired rockets from near a mosque, drawing retaliatory airstrikes. While the fighting continues, one Israeli official says aid is not reaching the folks that need it most.
Unfortunately, to date, the UN aid mechanism in Gaza has been woefully unsuccessful because it goes through UNRWA. Aid simply isn't reaching the people who need it because Hamas hijacks it and UNRWA covers up for it.
Officials say Israel has intensified its raids this week, particularly in a central area just south of the waterway that bisects the narrow coastal strip. The Israeli army reportedly told civilians to leave the area, though many say there was nowhere left to go. Pope Francis on Wednesday asked for prayers for those suffering the terrible consequences of violence and war. During a general audience at the Vatican, he asked the faithful to especially pray for tormented Ukraine and for the Palestinians and Israel. At the end of the audience, the Pope paused in front of the nativity scene in the hall to say a quick prayer. Coming up on First at 4, maybe it was broken, the wrong size, or just not right. What some store officials say you should know before you start making your holiday gift returns.
Plus, this upper level low could bring a few snow chances as we end the work week. Those details coming up.